Awesome. Again, thank you so much for being here. So for this talk, I would like you to turn on your camera if you can, because I really want to connect with you and see your reaction to the talk. But also understand not everyone can do that. So it's totally, if you're comfortable with it, please turn on your camera. So before we get started, I want to get a sense of who is in the room today. So we're going to use this tool called slido.com. So essentially, if you just like type in slido.com and put in the 6 numbers here, it's 263276. And then you should be able to see a poll. So for example, here, yeah, where did you grow up? So essentially, want to get a sense of what kind of background do people have, and as soon as you type in the answer, it will show up in this poll. Canada. Great. Great. I see a quite variety of people here. We have a very diverse group. Awesome. Yes, yes, great. Awesome. We have a very, very diverse group, and thank you so much for joining, no matter where you are, no matter it's morning or evening. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to move on to the next question. You will still have a chance to join if you didn't join for the last question. So how many years have you been working in an English environment? As in, like, English is the main language you use at work. Yeah, this is great. A lot of you have worked in an English environment for more than 8 years. That's a lot of years. 15 years. Oh, 19 years. I see a lot of even higher numbers in the chat. This is awesome. Cool. And last question. So when you communicate at work in English, do any of these resonate with you? I'm lost. I don't understand what other people are talking about. Having trouble explaining complicated things. I disagree, but I can't convince others. You can choose all 3 if you want to. Nice. Cool. Looks like the biggest challenges that people have here is to explain complicated things. And I totally resonate with that, because a lot of the technical concepts are just like have so many nuances that you have to explain. So that's totally true. Awesome. So those are really common challenges for non-native English speakers, and I believe that's why you're here. So we're going to dive deep into this. If you have any questions, you can put in the chat, you can raise your hand, and I'll try to do a lot of Q&As at the end. Sounds good? Cool. Want to start by sharing a little bit of my own journey. So I grew up in China, and I moved to America in 2013 for my PhD in electronic engineering. So in China, even though we learned English in schools, but it was purely optimized for exams, and we didn't really have any chances to actually use the language. So when I first got to America for my PhD, I remember in every single group meeting, my advisor and I just cannot understand each other. And I had to rely on someone who knew my work. I would have him sit in my meetings, and he would rephrase everything that I said to my advisor. And then sorry, what did I do? A lot of things happened in the past 9 years. I did multiple different career pivots. I started from academia to engineering industry to UX design, eventually to product management. And eventually I chose to be a product manager. That was a totally different story that if you're interested, I can talk about that another day. But for the struggle with communication has been a theme throughout most of these years. And I was this really, really quiet person. I was insecure. I was afraid of speaking up. I did not know how to present my work. I did not know how to convince people. And especially later as a product manager, I have to deal with a lot of different stakeholders. And there were just a lot of challenges for someone who did not speak English growing up. But slowly, I learned how to do these things. And I also noticed that a lot of people around me are struggling with the same thing. So last year, I started Communicate at Work. It's a school and a community to help non-native English speakers to communicate better at work. So I teach courses and design exercises for people like you to practice together. So today I will share a couple stories and learnings from my experience, and hopefully that will be helpful to you. So coming back to these common challenges at the beginning, I'm lost, I'm having trouble explaining things, I disagree, but I can't convince others. So typically what people think is, I need to improve my English. And that's what people tell you as well, just, hey, improve your English. But it's so much more than that, because think about it, even in your native language, sometimes you might still have challenges explaining things concisely. You might still have challenges giving a speech or dealing with conflicts. So it's not just improving the English, but it's more about, I need to rethink how I communicate.